Okay, here is a quick video on Act 3 of Macbeth. So hopefully by this time you've read Act 1 and Act 2, but you have also had the opportunity to go through the other two videos. Also at this point too, make sure you review theme development, the videos on theme development, theme thesis, directional statement as well. And also look at, there's a lot of videos to look at, but also look at the using MIT Shakespeare, the online searchable text. I did a video for you on that. And that would be, I would think, quite beneficial as you work through the play and working towards writing an essay as well, because you can search the text in that sense. So hopefully those videos are helpful. And again, if you have any questions or concerns at any time, please track me down in the school or email me, and I will get that to you. Okay, a response to you quickly. All right, so here we go. Let me just share my screen with you. Okay, so we're looking at here Act 3 of Macbeth. And let's jump right into in Act 3 and start looking at some elements of character and characterization with respect to one of the subjects in the play of being friendship, and a subsequent subject of that being loyalty as well. We've known Macbeth has had issues of loyalty with Duncan, issues to be an understatement, but also here we're presented with an issue of loyalty with his friendship with Banquo. So here's soliloquy number 4, so the fourth one that he has in the play, entitled "To Be Thus Is Nothing," and I think this is a very important one to gather Macbeth's character at this time of the play with respect to his current state of mind. So let's see what it says here. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them to speak to him. Then prophet-like they hailed him further to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my grip. Thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If to be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace. Only for them, and mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings, the seed of Banquo kings. Rather than so come fate into list, and champion me to the utterance who's there. I think the first line, hence the titling here, is quite revealing of Macbeth's current state of mind. To be thus is nothing. To be what he is right now is simply nothing at all. And then you get an interesting piece down here. He starts really not celebrating, but really noting Banquo's qualities. Okay, and then compares himself to Banquo on some level with respect to what he has done to get what he is to what he is at this time. Watch how it's acted out is here as well, and you'll see much better than my reading of it. You'll see a real sense of his current state here. So from the soliloquy, and again, I want you to compare this soliloquy to the other three. Okay, and see what's happening, what's changing, what's developing in Macbeth. So ask yourself, what is his state of mind in this soliloquy? We've kind of touched about it very briefly right here with this "to be thus is nothing" comment. The next question there is Macbeth's friendship with Banquo, based on genuine respect and friendship at the beginning of the play, and ask yourself how they were at the very beginning, because he says right in this particular um, uh, this particular section of the soliloquy, he chid the sisters when they first put the name of king upon me and bade them to speak to him. Then prophet like they hailed him father to a line of kings. There's a bit of resentment here. Okay, was that there present at the very beginning or not? How has it been affected? Sorry, it should be read, how has he been affected by the prophecies of the witches? So if you go back here and again look through this particular soliloquy and see what's the overall effect here. Does he seem to be reluctant to be doing anything else, or does he have a new sense of determination? How has that effect of the witches been brought upon him, and how's it being manifested? Lastly, what other factors contribute to the increasing distrust of one another? He has in this soliloquy, he's just distrusting Banquo in a sense. Why? What are some other those factors? And is it a mutual distrust? Is Banquo starting to see Macbeth in a different light as well? The next one I want to talk about is one of those common subjects here. Again, is this one of identity, and let's take a quick look at this here. Is taking a look at 3.2, and what I want you to do is first of all, I would actually watch the quick clip here, and what you see is Macbeth putting on, in a sense, a brave mask. This is the mask maker. Is he putting on a brave mask or a brave face? Is there a change in him? Do we see something happening within his character here? Do we see an uneasiness at all? So go through that and see what kind of consistency we have within Macbeth's character with respect to identity. How's he understanding himself? That's a very key point, very key question. And is it consistent with what we've seen throughout the other parts of the play? Also note Lady Macbeth. Has there been a change in character in her at this point? And then if so, is that relative to a change in Macbeth's character, or is this change prompting perhaps a change in Macbeth's character? Okay, so watch that video here and then move over and then work through that part of 3.2. One of the big parts here is this one that I've identified. Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. And that might be a clue as to looking at Macbeth as a bit of a tortured soul in a sense, and looking at him with respect to struggling to deal with who he is at a particular time. But please go through the video and make that determination and answer kind of these two questions. What is happening to Macbeth and Lady Macbeth? How are they dealing with it? How are they confronting it? How are they understanding it? And then lastly, what must they do to deal with a certain change or happenings to themselves? Again, watch the clip here. It does work, but watch that clip. And in scene 4 of Act 3, you have the appearance of Macbeth. Banquo's ghost at the banquet, and I think at this point it's very clear to see a cracking in Macbeth and perhaps his character too. So when you're looking at any types of change or consistencies or putting on masks and false identities, you definitely want to look at 3.4 lines 40 to 109, and that's really the ghost of Banquo and his appearance at that banquet as well. Make sure you do watch that clip and look for how Macbeth is shaken. Okay, and look for what Lady Macbeth does, okay, as well. Your formative activity for here is a placemat, what I call a placemat, and looking at your focus question is looking at fair is foul and foul is fair. And this goes back to really Act 1, that line in Act 1, Scene 1, that sense of duality. So Macbeth is indeed a play about duality. An earlier focus questions challenge you to think of Macbeth as a conflicted character, that is to say, a character of conflict within whom everything is blurred. And I think by working through Act Three, you would agree with that as well. And we see that in Act Two as one. He's one that is a character in conflict. In Act Three, we can continue to see the blurring of opposites. Here's your focus question: where are we seeing these blurring of seemingly diametrically opposed ideas occurring in Act Three? Okay, so I've given you an example here of illusion reality, and if you open this up in D2L, you'll see the full chart for you to work from. So I provided you with a hint by offering two such blurred opposites. You are to find two additional examples of this blurred dualism, and then for each example, find textual evidence, just a few lines, okay, to illustrate the blur. Okay, so a word-for-word example goes here. After you have found these examples, your final step will be to explain the larger significance of each blurred opposite. Why does it matter? Try to connect it back to a dominant subject or even theme at this point. You should be able to kind of make that bigger jump in your thinking, and then you should be thinking of the play as a whole, up to and including Act Three for this step. Okay, so look at Act One's Act Two, Act Three, perhaps by subject or even theme, to get a larger idea. To connect to a larger idea. Okay. So let me just stop presenting here. So that's Act Three. Those are your tasks for Act Three. So again, if you have any questions or concerns, please email me through D2L or find me in the school, okay, when I'm not with you, and I'll get right back to you.